days to live at most, the doctor said with a cold and somber look. The cancer had been fast and without mercy, spreading now from my liver to my lungs. 10 days left. 10 days to live until I'm gone. Gone forever. Leaving the office, I'd become a shell of my former self. The warm summer night breeze rushed past me as sirens from some accident a few blocks over blared over and over again. The reality of it hit me, and I became filled with regret. There was so much I hadn't done, so much I wanted to do, but I guess I shouldn't have been surprised. Both my parents were claimed 5 years ago by the same disease. My mother passed away first, with my father following 7 months later due to complications in the chemotherapy, and I was the next in line to join them, the last in my family. No job, friends, or relationship. I could see it now, the absurdity of the ordinary, and I found some morbid comfort in the fact that as much as I may be forgotten by those around me, eventually we all get forgotten sometime, because in the end, most of us aren't anything special. Nihilism overtook me as I sat in my dark car alone. Just how I liked it in the end, I suppose. Turning on the radio, I left the desolate parking lot of the hospital and simply just started to drive. I wasn't going anywhere in particular, not like there was anywhere I needed to be, or anyone who needed me to do something for them. Despite my circumstances, I couldn't help but smirk a little bit at it. At that moment, no man on this earth was as free as I was. And so I drove until the sun rose over the horizon and set again, and again, and over again. I smiled once more. Even faced with my own mortality, I felt more alive than I had ever before. This open road, for some reason, made my heart race, like I had finally found something worth living for. And the absurdity of it all made me burst out laughing like a madman. This ultimate bittersweet feeling of fleeting life was so cruel and generous at the same time as I watched the sunset over an unfamiliar horizon of some unknown place I've never been. The Japanese have a saying, "Mono no oware," which means the pity of things. It's made to make us reflect on life as a wonderful thing that is still very short, to appreciate what we are given, and still understanding how little of it we have. When my 12th grade history teacher taught us that, I couldn't care less or didn't even know if I'd remember it. But now, it's turned into something more for me. Counting, I watched the 9th sunrise after I received the news. I felt like I was now slowing down from my high. I stared blankly onwards as I thought about her. The one. I know I messed up my time with her real bad. And if I could take one thing back of any of my decisions, it would be leaving her. She didn't know about any of this. This thing, the cancer. And honestly, I wonder if she'd still care. I couldn't help but think what she may be doing right now. If she spent this morning alone or in the arms of someone who loved her a lot more than I did. Maybe she was just being woken up by a little human who wanted their breakfast. She wouldn't be thinking of me, and I hope she never did again. Tears now rolled down my face as I drove on and remembered our time together, when this whole life meant something. Night fell on the silent, empty highway as I drove into the late night. The car hummed rhythmically and consistent, until suddenly a metallic noise echoed and the car started to slow down. I hadn't checked in hours, but I'd been low on gas as the car screeched to a stop in the middle of nowhere. This was it. This was the end of the line. I could already feel it. My chest was getting tighter, making it harder to breathe, and I'd been throwing bloody messes up over the past few days. My head rested on the steering wheel, while I lamented myself, humming this song my mother used to sing to me as a child quietly. As if almost on cue, the clouds blew away over the next minutes, and the desolate highway was brightened by the night sky. I got out from my vehicle and looked upwards in awe as the vast sky stretched infinitely with no pollution or interference. Now, lying down on the hood of my car, I watched the billions of stars all above me, each twinkling with beautiful light. The galaxy could be seen in beautiful colors of orange, green, and red from the endless nebulas, yet creating more beautiful stars. I watched for hours, mesmerized by the display. And in my last moments, I didn't feel alone. Billions were there with me as I watched them dance across the universe. And whether there was a God or not didn't matter anymore to me. I accepted this. I didn't have a complaint anymore, nor a worry. And as my eyes slowly closed for the last time, I swear I could imagine her hand on mine as she kissed me goodbye for the last time.